So I just stopped going to school. Went to mine, was 13 years old, loading coal there. And got about halfway through the second rigger. That was it. So I went in the mines with him and worked with him a long time. And I didn't know nothing about juice, in the mines, electric juice. So I left this mines and quit loading coal and went to a mines where they had juice. And a little trap, trap doors for the motors to go through. I was sitting there one day on an old powder keg, that they got black powder in. Sitting right back this naked place, right between these two lights on that wire. I was trying to hear people say that's a shot. And I sat there, I stuck my toe up there and hit that naked place between them two lights. And that powder keg went flow across the track. Like me, I thought somebody knocked my brains out. Like they scared me to death. Well, I got over that, an old motor runner running the main line come down there and told me, says, now, my brakeman can hold this motor on first point. Well, I seen a man made to hold that motor on first point. Oh, yeah, he can. He wound the brake up tight, so I wouldn't see it. This old boy took a hold of the bumper, and he was leaning back like he had the motor on first point, but the brake was holding the motor. See, he wasn't holding nothing. So now he says, if he can hold it, I said, if he can hold it, he can too. So while I was talking, I had my head turned. He run this motor up all four wheels on the sand. That just gives a dead crank. Well, I went to hold it, and he opened on first point, and I'm telling you, I bet you a string of car flew out of my feet that long. I fell backwards. I was Lord have mercy, I'm killed. He burnt me up. And then he come down the next day, and he said, this mine's full of gobsals? I said, gobsals? I never heard tell of a gobsal. He said, well, you want me to take you around there and show you one? Now, I was 3 miles from anybody, by myself. I got to studying about them gobsals now. Me here by myself. Them things come in here and eat me up. Well, he come down there and took me around the curve, going to show me a gobsal. The old mainline motor I sat there and waited on it. Took me way around up in the mines there, boy, there wasn't nobody working back in the old part of the old mine. I saw, he looked up there and saw some old white posts. Then that old post that sat on the top of old white. White as your shirt there. And I seen that white thing, I'm talking about that white on his shirt. I ain't talking about the yellow. So he took me around up there and said, now yonder's one. I said, what's that? He says, that's a white gobsal. I was looking, looking, and while I was looking, he done sneaked off and gone down through yonder flying. Man, I tore out after him, and he went around the corner where he comes to the track down here and squatted down right here at the corner. And when I made the corner, that old devil jumped out of the car. I thought to myself, he died. I thought the gobsal hadn't shown up. He scared me to death. Well, went on back down there. I kept studying about them gobsals. And one morning, I went in there and sat down on the powder keg. I heard something through that door. I never heard just a racket in my life. Sounded like something just turned everything up there. I said, Lord, how much I know that's a gobsal. Well, I eased the door open to see what's going on, They had old rolls of shooting paper to make dummies to put behind dynamite, with rolls up with dirt in it. And that one of them old rats had that roll of shooting paper rolling it out and down the track, You never heard that racket. And I said, now that's the gobsal. So I wasn't scared no more. Well, sitting there one day, mainline motor was coming, and I went and opened the doors, buttoned them back, and got back out of the way. The motor got about halfway through, and them empty. And doors come loose and went in on the trips and tore them doors down and wrecked and tore a pump up back in there, just tore up everything. There come that old boss. I'm going to fire you if you was my brother. I said, well, fire me. Take me out of here. And he said, no, I'll wait till evening. I said, okay. So he goes outside and gets a door made, and there was 2 of them. For a cross, I had to have 2. He went out and got them made, and they was made out of green lumber. Man, that's got to put together. They weigh something. Well, he sends me around behind the doors. He had them set up, I thought it was on him. He had me walk around and get some nails. I went around there and got some nails, come back, I just didn't go and put it. He was down here pecking on a piece of wood. I dug up there on that big belly and just about mashed him in there like the chili. So I'll follow you now. He cussed me out, he called me everything. I'll follow you if you was my daddy now. I said, well, find me. I'll wait till evening. So that's the answer. So that all got over. When I come out that evening, the little house set right there at the cliff mouth where we had to see the boss. I just kept going. He's hollering, come here. I was goodbye, and I just kept going on down the road. And went on up there and drove what money I had out of the company store, went to another mine. And so I went to the other mine, got me a job, and they put me with an old man, was he got 7 years, and he was laying track. And he put that some kind of old stuff mixed with sulfur all over me, and there ain't no iron much in the mines, no. And he about stunk me to death every day. Lord have mercy, you know how old sulfur stuff. Well, I went out, went to the boss that evening, I said, buddy, I'm going to quit if you don't give me a job. That's another job. He said, what's the matter? I said, I can't stand that old stinking man with that old sulfur on me, and he's killing me. He said, well, I'll give you another job. Dropping cars down the tip and dump the coal out of them, you know. All I'd do is stay up here and on cut and turn them loose. And they'd catch them down. Well, wintertime come along. Here come that rain and snow like old Merle plays on the record. I'd freeze to death one day and burn up the next. Man, I didn't like that, standing out there in the weather. So my brother, he sneaked off from home, and he come to the war there. Says, how about us getting this job below the coast? I said, okay. We went up to number 4 mine, that was number 3 I was quitting, and I started at number 2, and went to 3, and then he come and went to 4, number 4. Got 2 places, man, we was loading coal, cleaning 2 cuts up a day. Had the biggest payday in there, you know, you ever saw. And here come a letter, and Dad wrote a letter down there to stop our money and send the money to him. And so there we was broke, didn't have no way to get home, no money, nothing. I told the superintendent, I said, how are we going to get home? I'm going to give you boys some money to go home on. And if I never see him, he said, you're all good workers. Maybe he'll let you come back. I said, he ain't going to let us come back. And he said, well, I'm going to let you have it. He gave us money to go home on. We come home about 12 o'clock at night. The old man was pecked on the door, and the old man said, get up. Let them hobos in. I told you I'd bring them in. Well, we come on in. And he blessed us out, you know. Got your money, didn't I? I said, yeah, I guess you did. Never got a dime. Next morning, I got to study a little bit, you know. We didn't have no money. I caught 6 of the biggest old hens he had. And he went to the mines. I caught them on chicken. I went down to the store. Told him I was throwing money out of it. He said, your dad don't trade like that. He said, he always trades chicken, get the groceries for him. I said, well, I need some money. I got to go get me something you ain't got. Well, he gave me the money for him. I went there and caught me a train. I left. Went into Rodale, West Virginia, got a couple of jobs, lied about my age. I wasn't 15, I told him 16. They gave me a job. I never broke a day in the mines and that. After a motor or anything like that, didn't just green, didn't know nothing. So this old boy said, I'll learn you how to brake. So I told him, all right. So he learned me how to brake. Then he learned me how to run the motor. So now if I have to leave you or anything, so you get the smoke and run the motor. I told him, all right, and I stick with that for that. So he took that old boy to the top of the hill in about a month after I did that. And got to take you up there and let you cut coal. He was a machinist to cut coal. There, and he said, I'll have to hunt me a motor on. This old boy named there. He said, Mr. Boyd said he's already got one. He said, this boy can run that motor good as I can. I done learned. Well, I just give it to him. So he gave it to me, and the next morning he gave me a new brake. And he wanted the motor too. So he had this old one-arm trajectory motor, just had one big arm transfer. He goes down about 7 o'clock earlier than I did, raised the braces up on my armature, the motor, put cigarette papers and under the braces so it wouldn't contact them. So I went down, opened the motor up, wouldn't do nothing. Shoved the plumber around fifth point, still wouldn't open up. I just walked back out and told the boss, I said, listen, there's something wrong with my motor down there. It won't run. I said, open the plumber up and it won't get no fault. He said, well, son, he said, I know what's wrong with it, so I'll go down there. So he go down there and told me to raise my braces on the armpit. He says, you see what's wrong. I raised the braces and I was cigarette papers all under the brush. Pulled that out and I went with my motor. He didn't break it there. So old boss didn't find it. So I stayed there till I got tired of that. So I went in another mine to across there and went to run one of these brand new GE motors. Just had gone, brand new, 4 ton and a half motor. I stayed there and till they got 25 men on me and I was hauling 140 to 150 cars of coal a day. Yeah, for 25 men, those coal. And boy, I'm telling you, he'd like to kill me. Well, I reckon that ends the mining story.